Ford's decision to do away with its electric vehicles production was a big turn to the American EV story. My colleague Steve LeVine has covered this story through and through in his newsletter, The Electric. And so I want to bring him on to tell us a bit about the ripple effects from this story that he sees playing out. Steve, welcome back to the show. It's great to have you here.
Hello. Hi, Akash. Glad to be here.
So let's talk about Ford and all of the crazy things that have been going on in Fordland. But before we do that, why don't we start with Waymo, actually. Waymo had a big weekend of news. There was this power outage. We saw the clips of the stalled robo-taxis that were hanging out at the intersection. They didn't know what to do. Look, I think things seem to be back on track now, but I wonder, as you were watching this, what was your analysis of what this says about the broader state of Waymos and autonomous vehicles broadly?
Yeah, it's sort of, oh no. The industry as a whole is in chaos. It's been lurching from one side to another for over a decade now, ever since Tesla came on and the Chinese came on, putting a fright into the car companies and autonomous car companies, and since then, the major car makers have been lurching from one decision to another, and one of the areas in which they've been pulling in and going out and starting and stopping has been robo-taxis. And Waymo is scratching its head as well. What happened over the weekend, right? These cars are supposed to be able to operate. They're explicitly supposed to be able to operate even if there is an interruption, a wireless interruption. The explanation was, well, they had so many things coming at them at the same time at these intersections that they just stopped, right?
I didn't realize it was a mystery. I mean, I didn't know that they were supposed to keep working and
Yeah.
that this was actually a bit of an unidentified issue. I guess the thing that I'm thinking about is, I mean, what do they do from here? And I mean, I guess power outages, I mean, they're not that common, right? I mean, how big of an issue is it?
Well, I think power outages are are happening more
More,
frequently,
yeah, that's true. That's true.
sure. And they need to figure this out, right? They need to be able to operate regardless of the conditions. If people think that if some problem happens, that they're going to be stalled, what if they're stalled in some dangerous neighborhood? What if it's your mother? What if
Right.
it's your wife? What if it's your child? And so I think Waymo needs to make very, very clear very soon that it's a one-off and
Right.
have it figured out. Yeah.
And I have to tell you, I think this is certainly where living in New York City and living on the East Coast, where they are certainly not as abundant as on the West Coast, right? I mean, we sit around here in New York, we don't see them driving around just yet to the same extent as they do in San Francisco, and so that's why we don't feel the impact as significantly as they do when you're living on the West Coast. So it's one of the limitations of covering the sport of electric vehicles when you're not living in a city that has them roaming around.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure, but you will soon. I mean, because there is a race on, right, to get these cars on the road between Waymo and Tesla especially, and who's first? Who's going to be first in New York City? So
exactly.
next time we talk, you're going to have them all around you. I think swarming.
There you go. So let's talk about the story that you wrote about a lot last week, which was Ford's decision to pull back, I think entirely now, from the electric vehicles production. Um, how much of a surprise was this for you, Steve? And you also wrote about what they've decided to pivot to, which is this AI data center category. Is it a smart decision? Tell me a little bit about how you're thinking about all this.
First, Ford did not pull entirely back, so
Okay.
they stopped they were producing 3 types of EVs. They stopped the one that's the most prominent, the pickup truck. The F-150 Lightning pickup truck is no longer going to be an electric car. It's going to be a type of hybrid called an extended range electric vehicle, which is it has a small motor, and it has a kind of a medium-sized battery, but you're riding on battery all the time because all the engine does is charge the battery.
Right.
So, okay, so it's a pragmatic decision, right? It's a decision that pure EVs are not selling as expected in the United States or in Europe at this time, and projected forward don't seem likely to in the medium term. Let's say the near and the medium term. So as a pragmatic decision, now this is triggered by President Trump eliminating the federal support, the $7,500 consumer tax credit as of September 30th. And there was a cliff. Before September 30th, electric vehicles were around 12% of US new car sales. Since then, in the 2.5 months since then, it's dropped to just over 5%. So dropped by more than half. And this was projectable, right? Everyone knew that the end of these consumer tax credits was coming.
Right.
And so, like, what happened midnight before? Like, literally, I got a phone call, Steve. In 1 hour, there's going to be a press conference.
Hmm.
Are you in? Like, that's how abrupt this decision was. And so Ford should have known before September last summer this was coming. Could have made this decision, made it seem smooth. Because it didn't, it looked like it was panicking. It looked like another lurch. I already said that it's one of the European car makers, American car makers have been lurching from decision to decision. They don't know how to react to Tesla. They don't know how
Right.
to
Right.
react to the Chinese.
Well, and so talk about now the decision now to move a little bit more into this AI data center category. What exactly is the work that they are deciding to do, and do you think it's a smart pivot for them?
Yeah, yeah, that's a good question. So the big story in batteries is AI data centers, right? AI data centers and the grid. Tesla is big. GM already got itself into grid scale storage, AI data centers. The Chinese are in this market in a very big way. Michael Dell's son is in this market, and so it's a smart decision in the sense that Ford decided to stop making the nickel-based EV batteries that they planned on in Kentucky, and are converting that plant to making these batteries for energy storage and for AI data centers. And so it's smart in a way that, yeah, that's
It,
you're marching with the band, but
yeah, but the band
competition.
is big. It's a big band.
It's a big band. What is Ford bringing to the table? Does Ford know how to make these batteries? No. The irony is that Ford is licensing Chinese technology to make these batteries in that plant in the effort to beat the Chinese. They're using Chinese batteries.
Hmm. Well, it's certainly a story that I think we're going to have to follow more next year. Steve, I want to thank you for coming on. That is Steve LeVine, our electric vehicles expert, author of the Electric Newsletter here on TITV. I look forward to having you on again more in the new year.